Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bouk and Zoobie show on the world famous LIR.com, 927 LIR.com, YouTube, and Spotify. I am John Kalaboukas, the Bouk, with my friend Paul Zubulake, Zoobie. So, how has your vacation been? I understand that you had some time off. Hopefully, it didn't rain where you were.
Well, yes, I did go. I went to upstate New York, John, to the Finger Lakes region, a
Oh,
place that I had never visited.
I've never been there either.
It's actually really beautiful. So I would suggest people to go up there. I mean, you don't want to be there for too long. It's a little boring. A lot of wineries, a lot of eating. You're about 90 minutes outside of Buffalo, so plenty of Buffalo Bill fans everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, enjoyed myself. We had a great time, and we haven't spoken in a while, and just so everybody knows, we will be on much more on a regular basis going forward as we're in early August, right? Technically taping on the 9th. This show will be out on the 11th, so we'll be a couple of days old. But when it comes to the New York Mets, John, it doesn't matter if it was May 1st, June 1st, September 1st, October 1st. We just have to start there. I mean, this season, John, I mean, this is one of the worst seasons in the history of the franchise because they've had worse teams by far.
Yes.
But for the expectations and the amount of money that was thrown together to put this, I mean, just an absolute disaster, despite the great 4-game winning streak, which ended in a major thud yesterday. I mean, this team is like they throw up the white flag. I mean, what is this like? It's like the exhibition season almost the way they're playing. They fall behind. Oh yeah, we're gonna lose. Whatever. We'll get them tomorrow. So, I
Yep.
mean, I'll just let you rip into them, and we got to go through these trades that they made because there's one in particular I just can't get over. I just cannot. It makes no sense. So you go. You're the Met guy. What is the thoughts over the last month since we've spoken to our fan
Well,
base?
just to show you what the feeling is around the organization. So now, not only do they have $5 Tuesdays where you can buy food, certain items for $5 and beer, then they have, if you buy a ticket now, and which, by the way, you can go on StubHub right now and buy tickets for $3, $4 to sit. It's like Shea Stadium days when we used to go, $3, $4 to go sit. They'll give you a $10 voucher per ticket for food. So this is how desperate they are right now to get fans. And what is really galling to me is, so they sent out an email to everyone. I don't know why they sent it to me, to renew their season tickets. Season ticket renewal is August 27th. But they don't tell you if you want to cancel, they ask you to contact your representative, and then they have this whole elaborate way of, you have to go to the app and go through, because I did it. I just wanted to see how many steps you had to take to actually opt out. And when you opt out, they won't let you opt out until you fill out a survey for them of why you're opting out. It's unbelievable. And they try to say, oh, we're going to have more benefits next year. Ticket prices will remain the same.
It remains the same.
I was like, wow, this is galling. And it's even earlier this year to renew, earlier. So they're trying, if you didn't see the email, say you're on vacation, how, and you don't know all these steps, you may be stuck again. It's galling. This is a Mickey Mouse organization. I mean, I'm sorry. The fact that they also revealed that some of the Mets moves were being they put they put their strategy into AI, and they were actually using from AI some strategic moves, what they're going to do during the game. I mean, that was revealed, and a lot of I found out a lot of teams are doing that. But I mean, what happened to getting a feel for what's going on? You know, knowing your players, who especially for the players, they keep looking at these iPads all the time. How about watching what the pitcher's doing? I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess. Another thing, before I get into all these trades, so the famous Gotham Sports app
It's dying.
is no longer. I mean, and you and I know that was a really bad app. The streaming never worked. It was off and on. I mean, I had to do that for a couple of Knicks games, which just a mess. I mean,
Well, it's outside of SNY though, right? This is you kind of this so everybody understands, right? They
yeah, it
are
was
there's
yes
a
and MSG.
right, yeah. So it's the on the Yankee side, and then bringing them all together, which is actually a good thing if the app's any good. If you want to unplug basic cable and just coming to get your programming through streaming, right?
Right,
So it's actually a pretty good development, and actually SNY is outside of that.
right.
But the way the Mets now are being, like you said, Mickey Mouse. I mean, this is really just it's
Well,
criminal. It's criminal. They
when
literally
you
should
watch,
sue them. They should
when
sue
you
them.
watch, you're correct, because think about it. This is not what people paid for.
Right.
They they're lucky they went on this mini winning streak, because I actually thought that they had a chance of losing 100 games. They're definitely going to lose 90 games,
Yeah.
but I thought they were well on their way to 100. But when they had this guy Stock, why are you having this guy pitching at all? Okay, this guy, oh, he's now a side armor. He used to throw overhand. Who cares? He stunk. He stinks both ways. Why, he threw 5 innings the last game and he only gave up a run. What do you think, he was going to do well? That game, I turned off that game when it hit 4-0. I said, we're done here. Okay, they're never coming back.
Oh, they gave up, John. I actually watched a little bit of the game myself. It's first day back, so I was just kind of like didn't want to do anything. So I was like, oh, let me watch the Mets. And they pulled Lindor and Bichette like in the sixth inning. And I'm like, this is minor league stuff. This is just like I said, it's like exhibition season where
It's terrible.
it just anyway. So everybody knows they're a disaster. But let's get to these trades. And John, I mean, can we just start with the most mind-boggling move? I mean, this makes absolutely no sense. You know where I'm heading. Every Met fan knows where I'm heading. Luke Weaver, John, is dealt. And not only did they move him they had control for another year.
Yep.
He wanted to stay.
Yes.
They literally moved salary, John. They're not even making the Pirates pay for him. Please give me something that makes sense in this trade. Something.
It was as I said, as I was texting you, these are clearly, many of them, salary dumps.
But
and the Brazaban one bothered me even more, because they have control over him until 2030, even though he's an older guy.
He's an older guy, but Weaver's a better pitcher.
I know.
I mean, I'm with you with the Brazaban move. That was another bad one. But to me, the Weaver trade is he was so good.
Yeah.
And the first thing they're going to be looking for this offseason is a guy like Luke Weaver.
That's correct. And they barely got anything for him. I mean,
okay, so tell me about this prospect. Give me something about this guy. What's his name? It's a weird name, right? So
they, I can't even.
Scooter. It wasn't Scooter. The guy used to play in the major leagues.
No.
Anyway, whatever his name is, begins with an S.
Anyway,
Who
it
cares?
wasn't a high prospect that they ended up getting from him. Actually, the best prospect that they ended up getting was the Clay Holmes trade, where they got something of substance, where the guy, you have a player that has power, actually is a base stealer, can play multiple positions, and probably, if he does well the rest of the season, maybe they call him up next year.
So he's a middle infielder, right? So this guy is like Jefferson Rojas is his name?
Yeah, Jefferson Rojas. Yes.
So okay, there's a prospect, and then the kid they got from Pittsburgh, I think, is another middle infielder, correct? Isn't he?
They got so many middle infielders, so many. It's ridiculous. They I'm looking at the name. So the one name and I looked these guys up, and I actually went on YouTube. This guy Petre, another bad trade was Peralta too. I mean, you gave up Sproat and Williams.
Yeah.
Your two top prospects to get Peralta, and then you trade Peralta because, well, first of all, Peralta was asking for an 8-year extension. That's outrageous for him. 8 years. I think he wanted like $30 million a year. He's not getting anywhere near that. But then to trade him off for Petre, this guy Hill, who's from New Rochelle, looks like he could be a middle reliever.
And another pitcher. I think it was two pitchers. That was a
pretty bad trade too.
Right. They got some older. I think both pitchers in that trade, their ERAs, like in high A ball or something, was over 4. And I'm like, holy, right?
Well, one guy that played with Benj and McLean is I forgot his name now, but he's 6'7". He's huge. This guy throws over 100 miles an hour.
Right. He was a top prospect, right? Then he hurt his arm.
Correct? Yeah. He just doesn't have any control.
But he hurt his arm too, correct? I believe he hurt his arm.
Yeah. I know we're getting damaged goods.
Well, we're jumping all over the place. So
we are. Because we're disgusted about all the trades.
No, right. So, So the big picture is that what are they doing? What's their plan? Because they got no current major league player, correct? Out of all these trades.
None of them.
They got all prospects, but the current roster is riddled with veterans on big contracts. So what are they doing, John? Like, what are they going to do next year? Because, they may just say they know, and the reason they got rid of Weaver is because there's not going to be baseball next year. So they kind of like that's the justification is that they're not going to play, and we don't want any salary guarantees for anybody, even Brazoban, even though he probably wasn't making any money.
No, not much at all.
So what are they building? They have Deadwood. Let's go right to the king of Deadwood. And this is back to and you call him Boy Blunder, which is, it is just perfect. The replacement for Pete Alonso. This is historically bad. I looked at Polanco's numbers, John. This is like a pitcher statistics that this guy has. He was slugging under 200. Maybe he popped, because I think there was one game when I was away that he got a few hits and he hit a home run. So maybe it popped above 200 in slugging. His OPS was what? 4. This is literally like
134.
No, right. I'm talking about like even the new statistics, the newer ones that you're supposed to pay attention to, right? OPS. This guy has had a historic bad year. And this was the plan to bring him in to play first base, John. And he's played 2 games at the position. And they're stuck with him for another year. This guy gave him more than a year. And it's just,
million.
it's
$20 million per year.
It's incredible. I mean, this is beyond bad. I mean, and they are stuck.
Listen,
Come on.
I was watching his, meaning Stearns's press conference when they were talking about all these trades.
Yeah, what do you say?
The guy he's just not fit for this job. He really is. They made such a big deal. He was a genius in Milwaukee, and meanwhile you gave him all this money to play with, and he made just continually really bad moves. And saying, "Oh, he's a Met fan. The owner's a Met fan. Blah blah blah." So he was in this press conference, and the one thing that just drove me crazy, I said he needed to be fired with this statement, is that this is a bright future. These are the prospects that we have. And then he came to Luis Robert, and they said, were you upset that you couldn't move him? No, and I actually had to write it down that no, we decided to keep Luis Robert because we we would like to view the excitement of Luis Robert. That there's going to be excitement. What excitement? What, occasionally you'll hit a home run? Obviously, the guy has power. I haven't seen him with his throwing arm since supposedly his back is better now. I haven't seen him throw it. I'm waiting for that one. But just not apologizing to I mean, someone needs to apologize to the fans. Oh, we're not playing up to our capabilities, and maybe we'll make a run. What run? You've been talking about a run all year. What run? Run to what? Oh my God, these guys are so out of it. And to think that we're going to improve next year. From what? From what? And you're correct. You think about, I mean, they could get Raley back because he's a free agent. Okay, fine. But he's going to be 37 years old next year.
Yeah, right.
You could get Minter back. He's a free agent too. I mean, a couple of guys are free agents. If you want to bring him back to load up your bullpen, but it seems to me that they're going to just load it up with all these minor leaguers, and they're going to say, okay, we're going to develop them. And I don't know if Bichette's going to stay.
Well, he's going to stay because there's no the
42 million is.
He'll never get that. And also, John, if he opt out, then he's out of a contract. And if there's no baseball, he doesn't get paid.
True.
I believe, right? So he's not opting out. He's not. There's no way, because there's going to be a work stoppage. But and we'll get to the baseball in general, John. And we've been talking about this for a while, and you know how I feel about it. I mean, they are just like, it's a spiral out of control of just going into irrelevancy, the way the league is set up. And a long work stoppage is going to be damaging because there's no positive about that. But hopefully the players finally realize it. There's like no one who is benefiting from this absurdity about what's happening with the salaries. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, look, the Mets had a large salary. Well, because they have idiots running the organization. So let's throw them out. And this is what, again, just because Steve Cohen made a lot of money as a hedge fund manager, a lot of it for Fugazi, let's face it. Yeah. And everyone tries to claim, like, again, they're geniuses. No, they're not. They're not. And the only reason they had any tickets sold this year is, as you mentioned, about this renewal and how it works. Who's renewing? How can you be out of your mind to renew if David Stearns is in charge? Because what confidence could you have that this guy is going to get it right? How is he going to get it right? He's basically telling you now it's another 2 or 3 years because that's what it is. It's the young guys. And even, John, let's face it, they don't have some big bat. Who is the big bat that is in the minor leagues? They have some young pitchers. There's no doubt. They have some tons of now middle infielders, and even Benj and Ewing. These guys are good players, but they're not top guys. They're not. No. They
No.
really aren't. Now, if they move Ewing to second, which they're going to have to do something, because if they have Robert on the roster, he's got to play, correct? I mean, you would think he would play, no?
They
Or
can,
what are they going to
they can
do?
decline his no, they can decline his option.
Okay, so he's again another 1 year guy. So he's out. So then they're going to go with Ewing, Benj, and Soto in the outfield, and then God knows who at first base, and then obviously I guess Simeon, Lindor, and another who knows at third. And then the catchers again, I guess because Alvarez is doing a little better, they're going to come back with Alvarez and Torrens. And I mean, and then it's just like the starting pitching again. It's just what's they're going to bring in free agents. I mean, it's really bleak.
And the free agents are not good this year at all.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. You know a hell of a lot better than me. But the point is, the Mets are like managing their organization. They're like, okay, 2027 is not going to happen anyway, so who cares? And maybe people have amnesia and forget about 2026. So when we get to 2028, people are going to be knocking down people to get to the ballpark to see this dysfunctional franchise. I mean, and like you said, they just shovel it, John. And the media has just, I mean, all sports media has been exposed over, I mean, the last few months. It's been unbelievable. And that's like a show on itself. That they just does anybody ask the tough questions? They always joke, oh, the New York media is so tough. They're not tough. They don't care. They're just going. John, they're just going through the motions. They don't want to offend anything. You think, and like the local guys, I mean, Steve Gelb, like he's going to ask a tough question? Of course not, because he wants to keep his job. And I'm sorry, that jerk Gary Cohen. Did you see like they showed? Did you see when they showed his college picture yesterday? Did you see it when you were still watching? Yeah. That says a lot, right?
Yeah, but
the ex-hippie, it's awesome.
Gary Cohen and Gelbs. They just whimper. It's like they don't want to ask any tough questions. And it's funny. What I love about Keith Hernandez is he says what's on his mind. And so he was talking. He mistakenly called the Cleveland Guardians the Cleveland Indians, and obviously Cohen corrected him, and he says, he goes, I kind of like their original logo where it was the screaming Indian, and Cohen goes, well, a lot of people wouldn't agree with you on that.
Yeah,
because we're just having a conversation, and Cohen took like a offense to it, and I'm like, okay, we know what side of the political side this man's on.
Yeah, they showed the original picture of him. It's just anyway, and I'm just so sick and tired of him, and just sick and tired of everything to do with the Mets, John. And quickly, because we got to move on from them. The 1986 ceremony, I caught very little. My friend told me that there was like nobody at the ballpark.
Well, that's most of the games now. You can't give away these tickets. Yeah, they had it. The regularly scheduled game is at, I think it was 4 that day, and they had the ceremony at 3:30, and it was a hot day. I mean, it was a hot day, and he's correct. There was barely anyone in the ballpark, and it was weird because they showed like clips of them in '86 and that Mets song that they had that year, and whatever, Let's Go Mets, and then they had Mookie Wilson just talk for the entire group for like 4 or 5 minutes, and that was it. They had them each come out, in pairs of twos. It's not like we haven't seen these guys before, but I think fans are getting kind of tired now of talking about the '86 Mets. I know I am. I'm like, I'm just tired. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Okay. If we want someone from '86 Mets, let's bring Wally Backman. Let him, be the manager and stir up some controversy with the Mets. It looks like Beltran is going to probably end up being the manager.
You think so, huh?
I don't think they're going to go after Cora. I think the Phillies are going to get rid of Mattingly.
Yeah, well, Mattingly's not long term. So Andy Green, I don't know. This is just, I don't know. He's still got to be in the running. So Beltran, I guess that will bring some sort of excitement, I guess. John, anyway, so let's just put the Mets to bed for 2026. There's no reason to talk about it. It's a travesty. We called it when it was happening. I mean, we didn't do the under overs this year because of timing with the show. And I mean, the number was high. I'm telling you, it was in the high 80s. It was in the high 80s.
And I said, no way.
And it's just, we didn't do it. We didn't talk about it. So privately we may have, but we didn't do it on the show, unfortunately. And this is literally one of the worst seasons in history, again, because of the expectation, because of they were really going out on a limb after moving their top, the most popular players off the team.
Yeah.
They were they were arrogant and cocky about it. And they're not even humbled, as you mentioned. They just act like this is all part of the plan. Yeah. Right. This is the part of the plan to be one of the worst teams in the league. And I feel bad for the young kids because they have nothing to do with it.
No, they try. Listen, I like watching the young kids play. I like this guy Jan that jumps up and down. And I'm saying to myself, when he started doing that, I'm like, oh, he's a target already in the major leagues now. Oh boy.
That's a bad. Yeah. If he does that at the end of the game to strike out the guy, okay, that's okay. What is he's literally doing it after he strikes anybody out during the game?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna run out there, John. And he's a little dude. He's gonna be running into center field. And if I'm on his team, I'm not gonna. You think I'm gonna get into a fight to protect this guy? And everyone's he created enthusiasm. Like this is like, how bad does your organization have to be? Right. I'd be telling this guy, no. After you win a game, you could do your dance, not during the game.
He's just trying to bring attention to himself. Well, and you talk about fights. So another thing came out while we were away, that Peralta was the one that got Soto and Lindor together. I want to know. And they said, it was just Lindor's. I'm telling you, Lindor needs to be taken off this team.
Yeah, right.
Because Lindor is the biggest phony. He's so phony.
He's a primitive.
He goes, it was just a conversation that Hispanics have. That's what he said, or Spanish people have. I'm like, really? That Peralta had to get in between you and Soto? I'm telling you, if I was Cohen, I don't care how close you are with this, Lindor's family, he needs to go. I wish, because I kept hearing these rumors to the Red Sox. I said, please, God, get rid of him.
Well, again, we're stuck with him. He's got how many more years left? No baseball next year. Nobody wants him. John, again.
Worst money that team, what is the worst team that money could buy, replacing the 1992 Mets?
It's just incredible that their salaries are. It's just really just a mind-boggling event this year. Like I said, let's put a fork in him, John. Let's move on.
Well,
for
the viewers, one more thing, because I did it to you over the
when I was gone.
Text. Okay. So I asked you, which is the worst salary here? 2 years of Frankie Montas at $17 million a year, $34 million total, or Polanco, 2 years, $40 million.
Yeah, it's Polanco. It's close. It's close. But as I replay, it's like I said, it's historically bad numbers, and it's close. Don't get me wrong. This is not like Montas was good at any point. But you're going to go Montas because he's a pitcher. Is that why? Or
No, because you still have a year left of Polanco, and who knows what he would produce.
Okay.
We basically got 2 years of Montas for $34 million, but we didn't get 2 years at all. We didn't even get half a year for the $34 million.
Oh, it's close, John. This is not
close.
Exactly
really close.
It's hard to say Polanco's better than anything because literally, it's like you said, he's hitting 134. Oh my God. And he's replacing your all-timer at first. That's on top of
it. You know what's even worse is we both knew that he was injury prone. Okay. I think the whole world knew that Polanco was injury prone. And when you see him trying to hit, it's like he doesn't have a clue. He doesn't have bat speed. I mean, he's not even close to hitting the ball, this guy. I mean, I think I should go up there. Maybe I could give me a couple of swings. I think I could do better than him at 62. Oh my God, this guy doesn't have a clue.
All right.
And the other thing is with Simeon,
Yes. Okay.
do you, okay, as a general manager, I'm going to put you in a general manager's position now. You have 2 more years of Simeon at $26 million a year. Do you eat it and let someone else play second? Do you eat Polanco's salary?
I would eat Polanco. 100% eat Polanco. But again, they're not going to matter because there's probably no baseball. But let's assume they're going to play. Polanco, I would eat in a heartbeat. Simeon, I would keep. And because I think just as he doesn't have to start, John, but he's hit 15 homers. I think he's up to 15.
Yeah.
He's relatively solid in the field. I'm stuck. If I can move him, I would move him in a heartbeat, but you can't. You're just talking about buyout. I'm buying Polanco. Buying him out.
Yeah, Polanco needs to go. So now that we're done with the Mets, let us talk some NFL.
Hey, John.
And have some type of optimism like we always do.
Well, John, just the fact that football is coming is enough to be smiling. I'm a huge football guy. So this is just like, it's a void in your life. And not that I want to have my summer fly by, but I'm just an NFL nut and I love college football. And this year is a double whammy for our team. Not only are we going to be watching on Sundays, we're going to be watching on Saturdays because we're going to watch the quarterback prospects play. We're going to let that all play out. And we'll be talking about that throughout the season. So, but before we start, John, I just want to thank everybody for checking out our content on youtube.com, spotify.com, and the world famous LIR.com, 927LIR.com. Please like episodes. And someone told me you got to tell people to hit that bell on YouTube. It's like a reminder bell. So not only, for people who don't want to subscribe, you can hit the bell where you get a reminder because, John, the YouTube algorithm kind of discriminates against the old Bouk and Zoobie show. So the best way to make sure you catch our show all the time is to subscribe or do this bell thing. So hopefully people will do that. And so I'm just, again, looking forward to another football season. And as you mentioned, optimism. I think, we always joke about, this is where you go for the sober analysis, not the cheerleading. And, I do a Jet show. So I want people to be excited about the season. So I'll ignore all the things that are not great and pretend everything is great because, it is absurd when you have to every year. It's the same thing when I'm listening, okay, they're in t-shirts and shorts and how great they look. I mean, it's a waste of time. And, when you put the pads on in practice, then, okay, that's something. So the good news is the Jets are now in pads. And again, from the reports, there's some reason to be optimistic, but unfortunately, what's been happening, and I don't know how much you've been following this, John, but almost on a daily basis, another player goes on, not an injured list because there's no such thing, but it's like, oh, this guy's day to day. Oh, this guy's a couple of weeks. And it's now kind of like mushrooming where there's a lot of guys who are not practicing. Mm-hmm. And anybody who thinks that's not a big deal doesn't know what they're talking about because this is a new group of guys for the most part, new system on offense and defense. You got to practice together. You really do. And guys on the exercise bike, and it's building and it's scary now. And the problem is, as we're now within, and I guess we're lucky because the football season's starting later because Labor Day is so late that they have a little more time. So they have like an extra week. But if everybody thinks that all these guys who haven't been practicing for weeks on end are suddenly going to show up on opening day and play well, and that's, to me, the probability of that is shrinking every day a guy misses practice.
Well, and the latest was Bailey. They're saying, oh, he sprained his ankle or did something to his
Yeah,
ankle. And he's going to, we don't know how long it's going to be. He'll be you're right. There's too many already, and you're not even hitting each other.
right.
And what I can't stand is when they talk about the quarterback fight for position and how many passes they completed. And I'm like, what? What? Like a little scrimmage where there's no hitting, no nothing?
Right. I mean, yeah. So
All the nonsense.
It's nonsense. It's
The
all
good thing
nonsense.
is less exhibition games, which is the smart thing that they did. Less.
Well, the problem now with the preseason games, they're devaluing them so much. How much will the guys actually get on the field? And so, Gino, I mean, does he need to play? I mean, the guy's been around forever. You'd like to see them play at least a couple series just to see how they look against another team who's actually trying to stop them, as opposed to being in practice. So, yeah, uh, the joy about how great everybody looks, and it's a little, to me personally, it's over the top, right? So I'm not going to get excited about practice, and when they start playing for real, that's when it's going to matter, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And as we've already talked about previous game episodes, the Jets have to win opening day, John, and Aaron Glenn needs that win. They
Yeah.
cannot start slowly. So quickly, just so everybody's out, you're talking about guys. Who are the guys who are hurt? So I'll go quickly through it. Sweat, all right? Devondre Sweat, the guy they got from the Titans for Jermaine Johnson. Been out. He's 360 pounds, John, and he's got a soft tissue injury in his hamstring. So this is one of those where that's, to me, the alarms are freaking all over the place.
Yeah.
We have a large human being with that sort of injury, and then we want to hear that he's going to be ready for opening day. How much is he going to play? So there's one. Joseph Asai, one of their pretty much their big free agent signing, another guy. He's also not. Draft picks. Kenyon Sadiq. John, I had double hernia surgery. That is not a major surgery. I'm sorry. So either he had a bad surgeon who screwed it up, or there's another injury. So I have a feeling it's something different. They're blaming the complications from the surgery. Something's wrong. Pons, he's out. He's been out. Now, again, he'll be okay. They're rookies. They need reps, man.
Yeah,
they got to play. So those guys are out. So then there's some other, Anyamada's, he's a veteran. That's not a big deal. But you got to be concerned about the draft picks not playing. So it's definitely something that you have to keep an eye on. And this, again, like you said, they haven't even played in a preseason game. So this team, you could argue their starting 22 is actually relatively good. It's probably one of their better rosters from that perspective in a while, but they have no depth. So losing guys is going to be a problem. So this is just pointing out the obvious that, should you be worried? I mean, you're a Jet fan. Of course you're worried. I mean, because you just don't know how it's going to play out. So, but the other point, again, Gino's looking sharp, and there is something to being sharp in practice. There is. You don't want him dropping back and airmailing guys, being inaccurate. So I'm not going over the top about it, but there's something positive about that.
But as the great Allen Iverson used to say, it's practice. We're talking about practice.
No, right, and it doesn't mean anything. But it's August, John. It's early August. We don't have to talk about it. But this is what the season's going to be about: is can Gino make it through the season? And they don't have.
Can Gino make it to the field? Period. With all the nonsense that happens at his house, on the highways. I think they should just tell this guy, okay, listen, you're going to stay in New Jersey and you're not moving and we're going to have someone monitoring you. The guy is just, I mean, trouble follows this guy. Just
It's
trouble. He's not allowed to go in Manhattan, period. Put him
and
in a farm. Maybe we'll put him somewhere near you on a farm that someone just watches over him. That's it.
hey, there's nothing to do in Florham Park, New Jersey, John. So hopefully he's just reading the playbook. I know he did get pulled over in New Jersey, right? At least once. I don't know how many, because supposedly he's been pulled over 3 times in the last couple of months. He's got a bunch of fancy cars. You're a target when you're driving fancy cars, as it is. But if you're driving double the speed limit, you're basically guaranteed to get pulled over. It is a maturity issue. You figure the guy would have matured, and he's on he is proving he hasn't. So I'm not going to get crazy about it.
You got to start questioning, besides maturity, intelligence too.
Well, John, as long as he's a smart football player, I think that matters. That's all that matters. And Frank Reich's been gushing all over him. It's pretty funny. So,
right.
And the reason he's gushing him, John, because if Geno cannot play, they've got absolutely nothing behind him. So despite the euphoria about Cade Klubnik, the best thing for Klubnik is, John, is to not see the field besides preseason.
Yeah.
He let the kid just sit on the sidelines, hopefully upstairs, because he shouldn't even dress. Zappy's the backup. That's very poor backup. So again, the Jets going into the season without a quality backup. What a shocker. We've never been down this road before. So let's see how the season develops. But Geno's got to play 17. He's got to play games. He has to.
And it's a shame. It's a shame that they didn't go after Beck. He looked pretty good.
I didn't see the game. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, but John, he's one of these guys.
Yeah. They should have taken a chance on him.
John, he's one of these guys that I don't know what, the media draft people didn't like. I don't know. I don't understand why. Okay, to pick in the top 10, I get it, of course. But making it sound like he couldn't play in the NFL, I thought was out of reach, out of touch. And he got drafted higher than most people thought. So, yeah, we'll see how he plays. I mean, again, that same thing. I mean, it's a Hall of Fame game. It's all backups. But, yeah, he's off to a good start. So, John, this is that is the second part of the season is if it derails and what happens. So that's going to be, it's way too early. Let's play the first 4. Let's get the first 4 games out of the way. And then we'll talk about the scenarios, about what the franchise needs to do. They have the picks next year. We all know it. Everybody knows it. We don't know how it's going to play out with the college players. So there's a lot. So I don't want to waste too much time on that. Let's play each week. Let's get through the first 4. Let's see where we stand after 4 games. And as I'm on the record already, if we're 0-4 and maybe even 1-3, it depends how you get to 1-3. If you look good and you're 1-3, I can't kill anybody. If you're 0-4 and you look bad, John, there's no other way to go, right? So, but let's not even go there. So more to come. We'll definitely do our NFL preview show, and we'll do our usual predictions, talk about the Jets and the Giants. We haven't mentioned them yet, John. John Harbaugh is taking some flack. It's purely, let's face it. I mean, again, we've talked about the sports media. It's just like the regular media. If you're a known supporter of the president, you're going to not get the benefit of the doubt, and you're going to get nicked every time something doesn't go right. So it's so obvious what's going on. And then on top of it, your quarterback's a supporter as well. So the Giants have to just kind of wipe that out. I think they're a year away. I think they got to weed some guys out, and you got to give Harbaugh a chance to get his system in there and how he wants to operate. And then talk about maturity issues, right, between Cam, Scatterboo, and Jackson Dart. these guys they're young, right? It's tough. So young people do dumb things. So
Well,
there was one thing like with the backflips. I think Harbaugh like obviously got in touch with them or someone in his staff did, and kind of like calmed them down. So if you're a Giant fan, you gotta be excited. I mean, you
oh,
really do.
I'm excited for them because they're going to be a fun team,
Correct.
really fun team.
And Malik Neighbors looks like he's healthy, which is a huge factor because
Yeah.
him not playing, that's a problem. So Giant fans, your defense should be very good. They should be good. I'm not putting like I just think they're a year away. I think there's too much hype behind them. Claim you're going to win the division. That could be a little over the top.
That's over
But
the
yeah, no, they got young players. They got a quarterback. They have a solid coach now. Should be happy days, but yeah, you got to play the games.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure Lieutenant Dan will have plenty to say about his Giants.
Well, maybe we'll get Dan on and he'll give the Giants view. Some other stuff around the league. I thought there were some season-ending injuries. I mean, not that anybody cares about the Falcons, but they lost this guy Jalon Walker, was a really good player. He was a rookie last year, torn ACL. And the Panthers lost their one, and Nick Scrouton, another guy, literally like in the first practice, he tore his ACL, right? That is just so, as much as I'm whining about the Jets injury issues, like when you take those season enders in the preseason of your talented players, those injuries are devastating, man. They really are.
And especially, when you start seeing so many of them start getting those Achilles injuries, which seem to be popping up. So many every year.
Well, just keep it out of the Jets and the
Keep
Giants
it
for
out
the
of the
Giant
Jets.
fans' sakes.
Keep it out of the Jets. But
And
you want to
and
talk about the Hall of Fame?
yeah, I didn't watch any of it. I was very sad to hear the Roger Craig story. So I don't know how did he bring that up? Is he okay now? But over time, he's not obviously
No,
okay.
he's not. He's not okay now. He actually
Yeah,
had a pre-recorded message.
he did have a pre-recorded
Yeah,
message.
but they did bring him out. He has dementia.
Oh,
Obviously from all the getting hit in the head. I mean, this doesn't help football players out there, especially with him. I mean, people don't really know about Craig that he was the first player ever to receive and rush for 1,000 yards in a season. He was the first one to do that.
yeah,
People didn't know. It took them, and he took a long time. I think what is it, 26 years? They said
John, he
something
should have
crazy.
been in.
I said
Yeah,
this guy's one of the best players during that time.
100%. The guy was tremendous. I mean, he was not overshadowed, but because they had such great players with them. That's why they won
Yeah,
championships, of course. Yeah, that's really horrible to hear. And there's been some other ones too, right? I don't know if you're Billy Ray Smith, who played back into the Chargers in the 80s. He died, he passed.
yeah,
And they said
yeah.
he had the CTE, and there was somebody else. I can't remember that. Another one was the same thing. And it's like, because you just don't hear about it because the families don't want to talk about it. And you don't know, you just forget. And I know there's been a lot of changes, right, with
Yeah,
the practicing and no two-a-days, and now they wear the Guardian helmets in practice, which is obviously makes sense, better quality.
yeah,
But yeah, the price football players pay in the long run,
yeah.
terribly sad.
And you had Vinatieri and Breeze and Fitzgerald. And it's funny, when I saw Fitzgerald, I started laughing because I actually sat next to him. One of my friends ended up getting Knicks tickets, and we were literally not in the first row like with Spike Lee. We were in the second row. And the person who was sitting next to me was Larry Fitzgerald, and I was talking to him. So the funny thing is the Knicks actually played a pretty good game, and he was talking to an announcer, and I've seen him a million times. David, I forgot his name. He's usually with the Phoenix Suns, and has done things. He actually writes for the Athletic now, but it was funny that I actually said hello to him. I recognized him. He was sitting literally next seat next to me. I mean, these are the type of seats we had. So when I saw him, I'm like, oh, good for him, good for that. And he was a great player.
Yes.
Breeze for an undersized quarterback was, I mean, all these guys are great players. Vinatieri, best kicker, as far as I'm concerned, best field goal kicker, clutch field goal kicker.
Correct. And Luke
So,
Kuechly was the other one, right? Luke Kuechly, the
yeah,
linebacker.
that's right. That's right.
So yeah,
It
good class. There's so
was,
many. The weird thing, sorry, John, is the weird thing about the NFL Hall of Fame is they limit the amount of guys go in per year.
yeah,
So that's why a lot of times you see like it's shocking that how is Roger Craig waiting all these years, and he was so outstanding. Fitzgerald got in on the first one. I think Kuechly had to wait a year or two, I believe, right?
yeah.
And kickers always have a tough time, obviously, getting in. But if there's anybody who's going to get in, John, he's the guy.
The two speeches I would recommend that you watch are Fitzgerald's and Vinatieri.
Okay.
Vinatieri was ripping everyone. I mean, he was like a comedian up there.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
took a shot at Belichick, supposedly, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, he said that I don't know that he's not around because he's I don't know attending his uh, girlfriend's cheerleading competition or something. But no,
Oh,
Fitzgerald had some nice things to say about his family, his grandfather. It was nice. It was nice. Good day for the NFL, and they had quite a few people there too. It was packed,
John, it's
packed.
just
It
it,
makes the uh, Hall of Fame for baseball look like peanuts. I mean, they had a huge amount of fans at the NFL.
yeah. Well, they tie it to a game too, right? So it's the opener, so you get some fans from those teams, and obviously and that's why the Cardinals played in the game too, and the Panthers played for Kuechly, so they had a nice matchup where they had the guys going in.
Yeah,
I think that was a coincidence because you got to play the extra preseason game, which of course
sure.
the teams hate. But for Carson Beck, it was obviously good. So for your young players, it's nice to have the extra game, not for your vets. Yeah, the NFL's king, John. So yeah, it kicks off pretty much this weekend coming up. The Jets are playing Friday night. I don't even know who the heck they're playing. So if you want to see a lot of Cade Klubnik, get ready for that. Yeah, and speaking of kickers, speaking of Vinatieri, the Jets kickoff, as we call it, Sanders versus York, allegedly is neck and neck. Sanders should win the job. He's the veteran. But you got to make decisions, and sometimes you got to go with the best kicker, and we can't keep on switching kickers every freaking year. So anyway, like the Mets, we'll stick a fork in the Jets until next show. Anything around the league, I guess the funny thing is Aaron Rodgers playing another year, and I just don't see what everybody's like excited about. If I'm a Steeler fan, get ready for another like 8-9, 9-8 season with Aaron.
Right.
He's way past his prime. I don't know if the Mike McCarthy is going to be able to pull it off with them. I thought the funniest thing, I guess, he was on a rampage with, again, one of the biggest frauds. And we're talking, we should talk a little bit about this media stuff because, with, the Kyle Shanahan story, where he basically, almost he's lucky he didn't get killed or kill somebody
Oh
where
God.
his I was the phone dropped and now it's the automatic driving system on the
Oh yeah.
Tesla. And and then the police kind of like almost wanted to blame the other person for that. I don't know if you've heard about that stuff. So he got like a concussion, broke his nose, a fraction of his
Ribs.
ribs.
Yeah.
And John, when are people going to learn? Right, the cover up is so much worse than the actual issue. People make dopey decisions and just live with your actions. Don't try to pretend it wasn't something that it was because it always comes out. It always comes out. And if they ever get the video from the police officer's side,
Oh
and that's the real story, you think that camera is ever going to come out? That footage, it's never going to come out. And then on top of it, because this is back to Rogers, the Diana Rossini stuff. I mean, one of the like, what a fraud this is. and supposedly she still has like her voting credentials for these awards. They
It's
haven't even
unbelievable.
stripped her of that. And Vrabel won like the coach of the year.
And meanwhile, both of them are going through the motions that they're seen with their spouses on vacation somewhere.
Right.
I
And
mean,
he, John, Vrabel is not the only guy that is on this list. I'm sorry.
please,
I mean, it's really, and how the media, they like, why did they protect her? Who cares? Wait, if you're a female reporter, this makes you look awful because everyone makes the assumption that you're
yeah,
doing the same sort of stuff.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
should be
yeah.
all over attack. You're going after her because don't like hurt my credibility because she has no credibility. I mean, what a liar. She's like, nah, they have her like all over the place saying certain things. Like she got out of a ticket because she had freaking Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings head coach, on her cell phone. And it's like, what were you doing with that guy? I mean, come on. I mean, John,
Well,
in
it's
the
sort of like,
NFL, like it's unbelievable. They
you know
really
what
are.
this
It's what a
reminds me of? It has nothing to do with football. They had a new documentary a couple of months ago about Billy Joel on HBO. Okay, and if you remember with Billy Joel, where he had so many crashes, he was crashing into trees and this and that. He actually said on the documentary, it's sort of the same way with this, that he was never drunk in his life. He said in the documentary. Estelle and I turned to each other. I said, "He is so full of crap." And he's trying to say, "I was never drunk. I was never drinking." Really? Okay. Tell Christy Brinkley that. Say with all of them. Oh
Yeah,
my
I know.
God.
It's
It's such a
why lie, right? Just come clean. No, and everybody's got issues. Nobody's perfect. Don't try to
right.
pretend that you're something that you're not. But yeah, the way the NFL, and then ESPN, that let's face it, I mean, what a piece of garbage. And if they didn't have games on their network, nobody would watch because nobody's
Right.
watching
Right.
any that network anymore. And look at they did, right? They fire some. I mean, they don't even like this. Just shows what a crap organization they've become, right? They firing people, but not telling them they're fired. Like, I mean, not that nobody loves that guy Clark, right? The ex player Ryan Clark. Where I mean, the guy got literally the news that he was fired when he's actually filming something, and it's just like, what did he? And then he suddenly disappears. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, show some class. And then Carl Ravage, the guy was with the like for over
Forever.
30 years, and he finds out like from a reporter.
It's amazing. Total disrespect.
Oh
Uh, Listen,
my,
this
well,
is
that's the
society
motto.
these days. This is society these days.
Yeah, exactly. It really is just just
Rough and
no.
tumble.
It's I know we don't want to be the old man like complaining, but man, people got to wake up, and it's just accountability is probably the most important word at everybody's shoes at every level. Doesn't matter if you're a millionaire, zillionaire, trillionaire, or a poor person. Just you got to hold everybody accountable, not
Yes,
just certain people. And
that's
and
right.
just like people just have absolutely no self-respect, where you just lie through your teeth and pretend that you're not doing it. I mean, it really is sad. But there's your public service announcement. This is what happens in the summertime.
uh,
All right, John. Okay, like we're going to talk so much more about the NFL. We just wanted to get some early thoughts out there. I'm going to open it up because we got to go soon. What else you got you want to talk about? Because I know you do have
just
some other stuff.
the NBA
Yes. What do you
very
got?
quickly.
Yeah.
So I am taking Zuby's advice and enjoying my Knicks championship, which when I feel down or I feel upset about something, I will go back to the comeback against the Cavaliers, the comeback against many comebacks against the Spurs. They're all on YouTube. Gives me
Yeah.
great pleasure. They actually have videos of um, Monica, and I forgot the kid's name. He looks so young.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
radio announcer, I forgot his
Right.
name.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they actually had him a video of him and Monica with the comeback against the Spurs, and then actually the one that when they actually won the championship. It was great. So, so getting to the NBA, what I loved about the latest news is LeBron James on his hands and knees begging the Knicks to come to the Knicks, and it was confirmed. And the Knicks turned him down, which was the best thing they've ever done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for Philadelphia, but still, you know what? The Knicks are still better than them. The Knicks are still better.
The Sixers have to become a team, right? So if you just here's the starting five, which in theory they're going to roll out, right? Maxey, Edgecombe, LeBron, Jaylen Brown, and Embiid. I would think that's kind of the starting five. They may kind of tweak it, like who's going to want to come off the bench. So, but I mean, how is that going to work? It's going to be interesting. Is LeBron going to be willing to do who's doing the dirty work on that team? Who's the Josh Hart on that team? Like, I mean, poor Edgecombe. Edgecombe is not going to, because LeBron is like his idol. So he's going to defer to him. He's going to have, I'm not going to say he's going to have a bad season. Statistically, he's not going to have a good season because how can he? He's not going to get the ball.
Like you said, there's not going to be enough basketballs on the court for that team.
I don't know how it's going to work. Like I said, who's doing the dirty work? Who's rebounding? Who's going to rebound? Embiid can't jump over a piece of paper. And what Jaylen Brown and LeBron's going to be mucking it up on defensive boards. I think it's fascinating to see how they're going to play. Yeah. And they're all ball dominant players. Brown, LeBron, and Maxey. They don't play off the ball well.
Yeah.
And Embiid likes the ball too. It's just so funny. How is this going to work?
It's going to be very interesting. But what to me, what's annoying is that the commissioner was waiting for him to sign before he would do any of the scheduling for the NBA. They don't have any schedules out yet. They need to get these schedules out because guess what? It affects college basketball too because they can't make their schedules. Like St. John's actually said to me that their schedule is going to be a little bit later. Right. Because they have to know when they can play at the Garden.
Correct. A good point. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you threw your the Red Storm in there. We talked about the devastating injury they already took, but should be exciting. And so I mean, New York, like you said, is just on a high. And as you said, you're a little bummed out. Just go on YouTube and watch the replays because that's all that matters. Enjoy the off season. We got a whole football season to hopefully enjoy. The tri-state is just so deserving of getting real football back. Let's hope it happens, John. I really hope it does.
Well, and you still have hockey.
Yeah.
And you still have the Yankees. Listen.
Yeah. You want to throw them out there
really quick?
Yeah, of course.
What's funny about the Yankees is they finally have the pitching to actually. I mean, they're going to go to a World Series regardless. As far
you think so?
Unless the Red Sox just keep going on and on. I mean, they're on fire. This team. They've won 27 out of 30 games. They're on fire. The Red Sox. But the Yankees finally have a tremendous pitching staff, tremendous starting pitching. No, there's no hitting. I mean, unless they get Judge back, Bellinger's going to be out. Stanton, I don't know when you're going to see him. I mean, they got this guy Garcia from the Nationals. He's a good player. But I think it just comes down to who's going to have the best pitching in the World Series this year. And, right. Edwin Diaz came back and is pitching like crap for the Dodgers. Look terrible. I think, what did they lose? 7-8 in a row?
I don't know. I've been away. I've been paying attention.
Yeah, so. No, the Milwaukee Brewers had the best record. So
there you go.
So the Braves had a losing streak there for a while.
somehow the Brewers have survived David Stearns leaving the organization. Just quickly back to the Yanks. What's your view? I know it's like what, a handful of games. George Lombard, right? That's it.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
what's your impressions of
Um,
him?
he, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen, he's so much better than Volpe.
Correct.
He's a big shortstop, but his hands, fielding wise, his arm, he has a gun for an arm, and he looked good at the plate. He's only 21 years old. It's like, wow, if he continues like this, I said, wow, they have some future at shortstop. But
Now he's a direct.
but his fielding was beautiful, very smooth. He actually did one play that I saw that he actually did almost like a Jeter jump, I call it, where he's jumping and throwing. Gun. What a gun this
Now
kid
was
had.
he's a draft pick? He's a draft pick,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So player development, it's as always, when you're building sports franchises, you just have to be good at everything. You can't just be, I'm going to sign free agents. You can't just be, oh, I'm just going to have young guys. It is a balance across the board. And you just have to make, good, solid decisions across. It's really tough. It's not easy building a winner. I know the Yankee fans are getting a little frustrated, John. It's been a while now without a championship. So you're confident that they're going to represent them in the Red Sox. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think they'll make it to the World Series. I don't think they're going to win the World Series. I think it's going to be from the National League again. But they finally, if they would have had this type of pitching in past years, they would have won the championship because they had the hitting, everything. This year, their offense has been terrible.
Right. So they need
Terrible.
Judge
But of
back. They need
course,
Judge. Yeah.
Judge, the best player. I mean,
Yeah, of course. You're not winning without Judge coming back. He says he's coming back, correct? He says he's coming
he
back.
says, but
Well, that's true.
when you're talking about ribs, and
Got to heal.
ribs. I always remember a rib injury with Ricky Henderson. I'll never forget it. It was a playoff game, and he had come back from a rib injury, and he took a swing, and he crumpled to the ground. Even after they said he recovered, I always remember Ricky Henderson. He was in so much pain. He'd come back, and
All right.
Judge has to be really careful because
Well,
he has an entire off season that. I mean, he could recover over the off season, but still, ribs are, especially if you forget about breaking them. If you tear anything in your ribs,
it's a long
that's
recovery.
tough. That's tough.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. So with the concern with the Dodgers, it is the dog days of August. I mean, the baseball season is endless, as we
They're
all know.
loaded. They're loaded.
And so they'll be there. We'll see if anybody in the NL can compete with them. I'm sure Yankee fans are happy to have Bouk make that prediction. So we'll see how that plays out. So we will still talk baseball, but we're going to be primarily talking about the NFL. And like I said, we're going to sprinkle in college football this year. And it'll just be about the quarterbacks, really, not about the day, what's going on in the overall, situation. We're just going to talk about the quarterbacks and see how, who's stepping up there. So all us Jet fans can get excited about who's the future at quarterback. And hopefully, as I've said how many times, John, we are in year 2 of the 3 to 5 year rebuild. Get the quarterback in year 3. Year 4, you're a playoff team. And in year 5, you're carrying the Lombardi trophy. I only can dream, but we're dreamers on Bouk and Zoobie. So who do you got to thank?
As always, thank you to our producer, Zach Zubulake, and to our loyal listeners and viewers. Keep the feedback coming. We'd love to see your comments. Also, thanks to our community partners, Ronald McDonald House, Kids in Seats, and the Jackie Robinson Foundation. See you soon.